What's up, guys? John from Heavyset Tactical, back today with a really cool knife review. Sorry for the poor camera quality and surface. I just laid a piece of paper out on my dark table at home here because I have a whole new studio setup that's being finished this week. I have a really exciting weekend. A shout out to Work Tough Gear and Aurora Borealis knife designs. He's sending me some really great knives to show you guys that are dropping at the end of June here. So, again, shout out to him. But I have a really cool knife today that was featured a lot on DBK, the Dutch Bushcraft Knives channel on YouTube. And I really loved the knives, the simplicity of them. They reminded me a lot of the Mora Garberg and Mora Bushcrafter. So it's a button lock, plastic inserted leather sheath that's really has great retention. And I ended up really loving this dangler. It kind of like positive clicks in and then locks. So it does not, you cannot pull it out when this button is locked. So you unlock it, have a little bit of a thumb ramp there. And this is the Terävä Jääkäripukko. And this is their 140. They do have a 110 that's slightly smaller of a profile, more like a Mora. This is an awesome knife. I'm going to just go over a couple specs real quick. And again, I've told you guys this before. I love what I do and being able to share my knife enthusiasm with you guys. So again, I'm sorry for the poor circumstances this weekend. We're going to be back on track. So this is their Jääkäripukko 140. It's in a carbon steel 80 CRV2, which is a really hard knockaround steel. It doesn't have the best edge retention, but for cutting and slicing, that's kind of a different story for me. When it comes to a hard use bush knife, obviously retaining an edge is important, but that micro bevel I'm less worried about as far as it keeping like a not necessarily a hair popping edge, but a keeping its form very well on the smaller pinpoint of the apex there is important to me for sure. But as long as the knife performs well and has that tip retention, because it's a very pointy tip, I like that it's not a drop. It doesn't seem to have any kind of drop in the point there. It's got a really nice 90-degree spine. You can strike it this way or this way, which is kind of unique. And that's the only marking on the blade. It has a built-in full kind of, disguised full tang with the leash at the end for a lashing point for, for paracord. So anyway, it's 80 CRV2. The weight of just the knife, not in the sheath, is 6.7 ounces, so just under 7 ounces. 6.7 is nice and light. This polymer rubberized handle, like the Mora Bushcrafter I liked a lot, is very functional, very grippy. So it's 10.6 inches overall. The blade is 5.5 inches. The edge is actually a 23-degree Scandi. And it sort of has, it looks like it almost has a convex to it, but it doesn't. It's a very, very great edge for doing that finer carving. And this is what I was talking about last week when I got bit, man. I frickin' cut my finger. As soon as I got done sharpening a knife that I haven't used for a while, I went to tighten the leash on the end and pulled it right out of the Kydex sheath across my thumb. Somehow it got me twice, so that was crazy. But anyway, I've finally been back using my knives again. And this weekend, I did a lot of batoning with this. The tip strength was crazy, and the carving was excellent. So overall, 10.6 inches, 5.5-inch blade, 0.17 inches or 4.2 millimeters on the thickness. So it's decently thick, a little bit thicker, a little more robust, a little more heavy than a Mora, but it's got this handle that I think if you had like monster hands, I got pretty big meaty hands, but if you had monster hands, I think this knife would be a little congested for you. I like it because it happens to fit my hand really perfect, but it's not very heavy for chopping. Again, it's going to chop a lot better than a Mora because it has a little bit more weight to it. The steel is a 59 HRC hardened 80 CRV2, so it will rust. It's a high carbon steel. And I like to think of it as a kind of a better version than 1095 or 1075. I think it holds a better edge. But it's interesting to say that all of there was a knife company that I don't have any of anymore, but I really want to get one to test on my videos now that I do my videos, is Winkler knives. And I always loved and had a huge amount of respect for Winkler knives. And I think David or Daniel Winkler, Mr. Winkler, his knife designs are epic and just amazingly functional. And he chooses to use 80 CRV. So yeah, I just wanted to lay it out here on this white sheet of paper so you guys can see it better. Again, sorry for the camera right now. This is it against a Mora Bushcraft Black. So let me turn it over. So the Mora is significantly smaller, but not by much. The thinness of the blade on the Mora, it's a lot thinner. Excuse me, thinner of a profile. And the one thing I will say, for an overall companion knife, I think this handle is a lot more comfortable. It's a little less, it's less long this way in the belly. Like you guys can see, this one is a lot elongated with this longer belly, and a little bit thinner on the width. I really, really liked a little bit thicker and less length this way from top to bottom. So I liked getting a lot of grip on this knife. The finger choil isn't as accented on that either. But, you know, needless to say, this is a better batoner. And for carving a little bit deeper and having a little bit more functionality in it, this is just going to hold up, I think, a little better. I saw a video the other day that DBK did where they tried to break it and just literally couldn't, so they stopped. But, you know, the Mora for fine tasks, it's a lot smaller, a lot more control, in my opinion. But yeah, it definitely, you know, they definitely would battle back and forth all day in my mind for which one I liked using more. I think for a little... You know, I think a little bit I liked using this one a little more for the hard use stuff, and I liked having a knife that was nice and light and very affordable to be able to baton with. These are about $40. This was $87.99, and it came with that great sheath. You can also pick one of their not Kydex, but it's a plastic, you know, kind of like cold steel level plastic formed sheath for it. That seems pretty durable and pretty cool. But yeah, I wanted to get that leather dangler. It does not have a belt loop, just a dangler. And it has this great retention. Literally clicks in, and that's just so easy to snap and unsnap. Works really great. And it's a really beautiful sheath. I hit it with some Snow Seal leather sealant. The only thing on it was this weird little blemish scrape, but it didn't, you know, open up or anything on me. So yeah, overall, really great knife. I really enjoyed it. Part of me wishes I would have got the smaller version, the 110, because I thought this one was a little closer to the Bushcraft. But, you know, I ended up being happy because it's just, like I said, using this belly up front here for carving is just excellent. Very comfortable. And I think I put a couple shorts up of me batoning with it. It's a monster, man. I haven't sharpened it. I just came in, hit it with a strop, and it's, you know, it came out of the box pretty sharp. Really sharp. So yeah, very happy with it. It's definitely gives the Mora a run for its money for sure. It's about twice as expensive, but you're getting, I think in general, kind of twice the brutality and the ability for hard use. So again, I will put the link in the description for the Terävä website so you guys can check out the Jaakaripukko. They also have a huge chopper. That one I ordered as well to test out. So again, I'm really excited for the weekend. My new shooting area's going to be all set up. I've been putting a lot of work in on it and getting some materials together for what I wanted to do. My bench in the barn is all set up, so my shop's, up and running fully for making handle scales and some custom work I want to show you guys. And again, thanks to Aurora Borealis, I'm going to have some awesome knives to review before they drop this coming weekend. So, as always, guys, have a great week. Stay safe and stay heavy.